Hello and welcome to Cryptocat-Guru. In this video, we will introduce a new grading system and will show why mint numbers will not matter for the grading of the collectibles. We hope you will enjoy our content. If you are new to our channel, please consider to subscribe and like our video down below. Also feel free to comment down below to respond to your thoughts with new valuable videos. First, let's have a look what's out there as grading systems for NFTs. As NFTs are still new, there is no well-recognized grading system for now. However, the Veve community decided to adapt the grading system similar to the one of the YouTuber Comic Sans Crypto based on the mint number of a collectible. Shout out to Comic Sans Crypto at this point for coming up with an idea of how digital comic collectibles could be graded. In their approach, comics get graded in terms of their mint numbers. That means that, for example, the top 0.5% of comic mints get graded a 10, the top 1% of mints get graded a 9.9, and so on. Let's have a look at an example to better understand this grading system. Let's imagine you hold a Todd McFarlane Batman with a mint number of 80. There are 7,500 Todd McFarlane Batmans in existence at the moment. If you would hold mint number 80, this would mean that your Todd would fall in the category of the top 2% of the collection. This would give your Todd a grading of a 9.8. The grading would be fixed and could not change over time, like in the real world if your collectible gets scratched or damaged. Next, to better understand the impact of mint number on the secondary market, let's have a look how sub-100 mint collectibles are traded. The YouTuber Randy did an analysis of prices in the marketplace and found out that sub-100 mints typically command a premium based on the mint number of the collectible. Shout out also to him at this point for coming up with this analysis. Common sub-100 mints typically command 10 times the floor price, uncommon 8 times the floor price, rare 6 times the floor price, ultra rare 4 times the floor price, and secret rare sub-100 mints 3 times the floor price. Sub-50 mints are typically worth 20 to 30 times the floor price, although this varies based on the popularity of the collectible. So according to his analysis, the mint number plays a significant role in the pricing of the collectibles. However, we will show you why we think that mint numbers are not the right approach for grading of digital collectibles, as they don't include the usage of the collectibles. To get a better understanding, what could be the right grading approach for NFTs and digital collectibles in general, let's first have a look how physical collectibles are graded in the real world. Each comic book receives a numerical grade between 0.5 and 10, mostly based on the quality or usage of the comic.
Magnification is also important, and here I have my trusty loupe to examine the comic book, particularly small areas when I'm looking for restoration or small defects.
It's worth noting that for many books, the highest grade in existence is often a 9.8, with 9.9s and 10s for older books exceedingly rare. An Amazing Fantasy number 15 graded CGC 9.6 now holds the record for the most expensive comic book. Known for the first appearance of Spider-Man, the comic book was sold in Heritage Auctions comic sale, which ended September 9, 2021. The sale of the comic realized a value of $3.6 million. So if we have a look how the books are graded, the main factor seems to be the quality or usage of the comic book pages. If we look into other collectibles grading factors, for example for watches or statues, the condition of the collectibles plays always a major role for the grading of the collectibles. If we want to translate the quality or usage factor into the digital world, the nearest comparable that comes into our mind is the number of owners of the digital collectible, which can be measured by the number of transactions the collectibles have. Based on the blockchain technology, it is possible to exactly count the transactions and thereby the number of owners of the collectible. This means for our grading scale, the more owner a collectible has, the less valuable the collectible is. Collectibles which were minted and never traded hold the most value. Dan Crothers mentioned in the last community update video that metadata will be available soon for the collectibles on the Veve app.
Yes. So number one, very excited to announce that we will be rolling out the metadata from Monday. So all drops minted after Monday will automatically appear on chain. But really excited for that to roll out and to see what the community is going to do with the data. It should be really fun.
This would most likely also include the number of transactions a collectible has and thereby help to integrate this new grading system for our collectibles. Now let's have a deeper look into how this grading system based on the number of transactions could look like. In our eyes, there are two options how it could work. We could use a static or a dynamic grading scale. The static grading scale would work with static number of transactions as reference points. Collectibles with less than 5 transactions could be graded a 10. Collectibles with transactions between 5 and 10 could get a 9.9 and so on. This is quite straightforward. The more interesting grading scale, however, would be the dynamic grading scale. It would work based on the collectible with the most transactions in the edition run as reference point. Let's imagine you hold a first appearance Superman NFT, which had already 5 transactions. The basis for the grading of your NFT would always be the Superman with the most number of transactions in the edition run. To better understand the logic and be able to play around with the new grading system, we prepared an example in a Google spreadsheet for you. Let's have a look now at our Google spreadsheet example. In this example, for simplicity reason, we say we have a comic book with an edition size of 10. So there are only 10 collectibles overall. The 10 collectibles you can see in the table on the left side named collectibles 1 to 10, whereby number 1 would be your collectible. Down below you can see the legend. The orange-colored cells are the cells you can change to play around with the grading system and the effects that play into this. The blue-colored cells are calculations, and the black-colored cells are static inputs. So let's have a look now first at the table on the left side. You can see the collectible, the number of transaction, the calculated rank, percentile, and grading of the collectibles based on the collectible with the highest transaction count. On the right side, you can see the reference grading table. You can think of it as a lookup table for the grades. This is just made up and could be changed. For simplicity reasons, we just went with even grading numbers. Enough of explanations, let's play around now with some numbers and see how the grading of your collectible would be changed in this example. As you can see, your collectible at the moment has 100 transactions and is therefore now graded as a 6.0. Let's assume now that the transaction number from collectible 6 changes from 60 to 120. How would that impact the grading of your own collectible? Let's have a look. Now your collectible is graded as a 7.0 because its ranking increased by 1 due to the fact that collectible 6 has now more transaction than yours. Let's assume that after 1 year also the number of transactions for collectible 3 and 10 change. Let's have a look at the result of what happens if we increase the transactions. As you can see, our collectible is graded now a 8.0, which is in our reference table the second highest grade. This would mean that the longer you hold your collectible and don't transact, the higher the grading of your collectible could get. We think this grading system is the nearest we could think of compared to the physical world, and it's also quite fun as you can see the grading of your collectible changing over time. You will not have to send it to CGC or any other grading company, as it would work based on the number of transactions on the blockchain. We hope you liked our explanation of the new grading system. If you want to play around with the template yourself, you can find the link to the Google spreadsheet in the description down below. Feel free to download it and play around with it. You can also change the grading reference table to your needs. This is just a simple example to explain how this dynamic grading system based on the number of transactions could work. With that said, we are already at the end of our video. If you liked our content and you want to see more videos like this, please leave a like down below and consider to subscribe to our channel. Your Cryptocat-Guru.